Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. This is your host, Servbot 42, the one and only Servbot 2. Well, what's up guys? It's been a little late, right? I think I usually do it every Thursday, but I got swamped with some homework. It was really bad. I was stressing out about it just for a bit because I didn't know how to do certain commands, but here I am again. And you'll be glad to know, well, for you three listeners out there, that I can finally color my UV maps in my games. Well, in Maya, so now when I make video games, I can add color to it and stuff, which is pretty awesome. I just did a crap job with this one because it's just homework. But I'm gonna start grabbing the 2D sprites from Disgaea, and I'm gonna start making them in 3D and then adding color in them, which requires a bit of Photoshop. But anyways, how are you guys? How's your day? This is your Saturday. Did you have a rough one at school? Did it suck? Huh? Did you have a little teen angst? You know, approach that girl you like, but in the end you just wussed out. Oh man. Speaking of which, let's get into some news here. I finally updated my Lappy. Thanks to my mom. I was able to get a Alienware. It looks really sweet. It works. I have a working computer and it doubles as a next gen system. But now I can finally render my stuff without it stressing out the PC. Which on my previous one, I mean, it did work, but it was going to overdrive. Like you can hear it, you can hear the fans, and it was constantly hot. So now with this one, obviously you can handle it. And the other one wasn't my PC, as I said earlier. And what I was doing to it would basically burn it out eventually a lot faster. So, I mean, I think I'm good for like 10 years with this one. I'm not that guy that wants to get like the latest tech, and I pretty much have it. Well, this is a 2015 version, but I'm not going to need one for another 10 years because, yeah, it's really good actually. But, yeah, I finally got a new Lappy, and with it, the first game that I got is freaking Doom, which happens to be so amazing. Man, I love all the Doom games. And I remember, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I remember I would play, the first time I played Doom, I was a demo, which was the first game essentially, like the first 5, 6 maps. And I thought that was the whole game itself until later, years later, I bought it for Xbox 360, and it was freaking huge. It was like, I thought it was like the game in an expansion, but it was just the game itself because then I got the expansion, which is even more amazing. I don't know. I like Doom. I have all the games recently, back in 2014. I had bought Doom Classic Complete. And I remember a week later, I got fired from my job. And I wasn't even mad because I really hated the work in there. And I swear, once they let me go, I just went home. I went straight home. And I just played Doom for like a good 5, 6 hours. It was amazing. So I have the Classic Complete. I did every map on that on Ultra Violence mode. Pretty much just to get all the achievements, right? So I got all the trophies on that. I got all the trophies for Xbox except for the multiplayer because sadly enough, when I was playing Doom on the 360, when that came out, well, I think it was like 06, 07, nobody was online for multiplayer. Probably like 2 people. That's the one thing I don't like about Xbox is people will like the multiplayer trophies are really hard to get because once that game, the hype for the game dies, like the trophies aren't going to be there anymore. I mean, not the trophy. I'm sorry. The people that play online, they're not going to be there anymore. And it's like I had the problem with Doom. Oh, sorry. My allergies are going crazy right now. Freaking, I just handled 2 guinea pigs. So you have to excuse my voice again. Man, I really should do this podcast when those animals are outside. But anyways, yeah. Sorry about that sudden interruption. I remember when I was playing Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, I got every achievement except for the multiplayer ones because nobody was online. I mean, like nobody. Nobody was online. Um, the only ones that I did get online were games like Left 4 Dead because that is a obviously for obvious reasons. But other than that, like single player games that can have multiplayer aspects, they die out real quick unless it's a fighting game. But yeah, those are the only achievements I didn't get for Doom on the 360. I got everything on PS3, and then I got the BFG edition, which was it was all right. I did enjoy it. It was like hell was the reward that you get towards the end for playing the game, rather than the classic Doom where it's just like getting to the last stage. This one, oh man, I think this one they obviously they found what was kind of lacking in 3 and they added it in 4. And I haven't gotten far yet. I'm probably like on map 4 because I literally did just get it like 3 4 days ago, and I do want to play it a lot, but also I got school, and I'm still on week 7, right? It's gonna be week 8, and there's 11 weeks in my semester right now, so like I'm already starting to get the get ready, show me your projects that you're gonna start so you can work on your final kind of thing. Some teachers are already telling me to like bring in my rough sketches of what my final is gonna be, and I have to gotta work on my final, which I'm glad they're not tests, but they are huge projects I gotta work on. But I'll take that, dude, because I mean, well, tests are boring, and what I'm doing right now, it's actually a lot of fun. With the exception of next quarter, I'm gonna have a crappy ton of classes. They're all Gen Ed and what was it? Gen Ed and 2 electives that I have to take, and that's because there were no classes available again. And this is like the 4th day. Like, was it like registration happened this week, and I went in to register for my classes the 4th day because my uh I had to pay my tuition fees, which I didn't have the money for. I finally paid it off, and I scraped by with some crap classes. So once again, on the first week of school, that'll start in about 6 weeks, because I get 3 weeks vacation after this quarter. I'm just gonna endure the whole week, and then I'm gonna see what classes I can crash for the next week, because I don't like my classes. Out of the 3 teachers I do not like in that school, I'm taking classes with 2 of them. So yeah, fuck that. You know, I'm gonna eventually pay for this. I better get what I want. At least get me teachers that actually know what they want to do, or have some kind of inspiration in life. Because a lot of them, they're just like jaded. And there's like rumors in my school where like, well, not rumors, but you know how people find out about you. Like there was I don't know this teacher's name. I gotta find out because I want to stay away from this guy. This guy had gotten he had gotten turned down from Disney, and then he got fired from Universal Studios. So now he's teaching at my school, and he has like this jaded outlook of the industry. And I know that it's like cutthroat, which it doesn't matter for me because I mean I have natural talent for this, so I'm gonna make it eventually. And there's a lot at stake, so I am keeping focused. But there are some teachers that just sound jaded, and I thought like, oh, okay, it's because it's rough. But it turns out that some of them just couldn't cut it, so they're just, they have to settle for teaching, and they just throw the little microaggressions at us. And those are the teachers I don't want to have. And I think one of them is like that, and the other one she just can't talk for shit. Like her voice is so low, I hate it. But anyways, enough about all that school shit. Related to school, but not. Me and my friend, we got at it one time last week about well, pretty much we're talking about video games, right? And he always tries to give me knowledge, and I'm like, yeah, well, you're kind of right about that, but then again, you're 19, so you're an idiot. That's the kind of shit I give him. And before you know it, like I brought up how my joke to the people that are there, my acquaintances, Not friends. I don't really have any. I have like one friend there, and I don't care for everybody else. But yeah, I kind of have to stop being a dick. But I'm a dick. Sorry, I mean shit. It's all fun and games until portfolio comes up. But anyways, I'll get to that reason in a bit. But I was talking to that one friend in class in school on her break, and I always have this joke where like, if you just slack off, thinking that being a game developer is gonna be just fun and fun, because you gotta put work in it, right? And I tell them, I have this recurrent joke with people where like, if you can't make it, if you don't think you're cut out for this, you can always work at a barista as a barista at Starbucks. And that's my joke, like you threw away your education, now you're working at Starbucks. Well, I told them that, and that don't be that guy that ends up making 2D apps like retro 8-bit video games that just get sold at Starbucks as advertisement. And then he started telling me the points about like how 8-bit games are fun and they're well, he didn't say trendy, but like it's what's in, and it's what everybody likes. And I told him my side was, well, yeah, but I'm not here for that. It's fun, like I get it. I mean, I'm here to do 3D modeling. I'm here to help model next generation games. I'm not here, I'm not throwing away 90 grand on this education just so I can make pixelated games. I'm done with that. I had my share of that shit when I was like 5. Right? I played the Nintendo, I played the Super Nintendo, I played the Game Boy Advance. I played everything from the Nintendo to now. Well, with the exception of Xbox One, because I don't have a friend that has that. I just have a friend. I have a brother-in-law that has the PS4, which is the same thing as the PS3, just updated graphics, right? But yeah, so I played everything. I get nostalgia, and I always quote the King of the Cosmos from Katamari, how retro retro is good in small doses, and I believe that this 8-bit retro trend that's going on everywhere online is it's getting not redundant. It's oversaturated now. Kind of like how just zombies blew up, you know, like how everything had to have a zombie mode. Everything was just saturated with zombie this, zombie that, right? That's how I feel about the whole 8-bit 2D era right now. Like it's cool, but I don't know. I just feel like it's lazy. As a game developer, you're just being lazy because you just gotta draw pixelated art, which I get it. It's art, but making a 3D render is much more harder, you know, because you gotta look at all angles and stuff like that. But I mean, in the end, both 3D and 2D have their ups and downs. I get that, you know. But honestly, it is a lot easier to do 2D because with 3D, there's a lot of things you gotta put into consideration besides just the rendering and making the models and then having the UVs match the color. It's pretty much just the paint job has to match what you have on there, and then you got your bugs and all this stuff. And with 2D and art, it's simple because you can just paint stuff and it's pixelated, and you just make a spreadsheet of all the possible actions. And I'm not gonna put in the programmers because that's a separate thing. That's they're in charge of making the thing run for both of them. I'm just talking about like artistically. It's much easier to draw if you have a talent for art than it is to make a model because you can be a professional and know all the shortcuts, but you still gotta put in the work. You know, you still gotta put in the time and all the tedious crap for edges and stuff. So yeah, that was my point of the argument.
If you say
And we were just
so.
going at it like fucking Civil War. This shit was hilarious. I told him I didn't tell him this. I told him that not to grow a beard, but I told him I want to tell him like, look, you can have a beard, you can have the scarf, you can have the dark rimmed glasses, but you can't have all three at the same time. I will not allow it. I won't allow it. Nope, fucking hipster. It's gonna hang out with me. Fuck that. Take that shit to the coffee shop. Anyways, yeah. So I had that little interesting conversation, which is freaking awesome. Cause I I like busting people's balls. It's fun, and he knows it. I'm just fucking around with him. And man, I don't know. Well, I mean, I can't wait for this to be over because I just want to play for like once vacation starts. I just want to play Doom. I just want to play it for like 2, 3 days straight. Get it out of my system. Um, I do want to get some other games on Steam, cause yeah, I kind of see now why people are like with the whole PC Master Race. I get it, dude. You can get everything on Steam and it's cheap and it's fun. But I mean, and I did find myself not playing with my consoles anymore. Granted, it's only been like 4 days, but usually like on the bus, I would get on freaking on my 3DS or when I'm at home when I'm just lying in my bed. I haven't been touching my 3DS since I got this. I've been using this and my iPad, but only for that driver app that I was playing because I'm just farming for gold at this point and money to upgrade and buy new ships. I did everything in that game. I did all the levels. I just have to wait for the new update, which I don't know when it's coming out because apparently in story mode I have not caught the last bad guy. So yeah, I'm just farming for now. That's about it. I've been getting actually when I was playing Doom, it starts skipping in the beginning. It skips for like a minute, and I thought it was me, right? But I look online and it's a driver issue or something. It's like some kind of bug, and there's a driver I can download to fix it. But people have been saying that the game has crashed since they got it for some computers, and since this freezing happens for like 30 seconds to like 45 seconds tops from the beginning of the game, and I never experience it ever, I'm just gonna leave it. I mean, I'm willing to just wait and let this lag out for the first minute if that means I can play uninterrupted for the next 4 to 5 hours. So I'm gonna just let that shit run, and I'm gonna wait till there's like official patch for everything. I haven't done a snap map, and honestly, that's where it started. I'm starting to think I shouldn't have gone into snap map mode. And I don't know what it is. I heard it's like you grab maps and you can put them together, which that would be fun because as you guys know, I love creating levels, and I would so be into that. Uh, fuck. Speaking of levels, dude, I've lost not lost interest, but like I just haven't thought about making Mario Maker levels at all. And granted, I was waiting until class ends so I can do that again. But I was like, I just thought about it. I was like, well, the time that I'm spending on the PC, I could be spending making levels. Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, jeez. But, well, what are you gonna do? I mean, shit, I don't want to lose interest in Mario Maker because, well, I just gotta play it again. I know it because I love Mario, dude. That game is so fun. But yeah, that's about it for that. Oh yeah. Oh shit, I almost forgot. There is this app that has been blowing up on my Twitter, right? For the longest time. And I was like, fuck it, I cave in. It's got like copyright images of Pokemon and it's called Super Evolution. And it's kind of like Pokemon. Obviously, it's a ripoff. And it's so funny because like all the Pokemon, they're girls and guys, right? But most of the ones that you find are girls. And like the main bad guy is called Mutant, but it looks like Mewtwo. So it's just a woman with gray hair, and she's got like this Mewtwo armor. you got like the you got this guy that looks like freaking Raikou. I think that tiger was, and like the instead of Professor Oak, it's Doctor Oak. So apparently you got downgraded. Your starter Pokemon or starter trainers or whatever fighters is Bulb, Char, and Squirt, and they're all like girl versions of Pokemon. My favorite one is because I chose Char, and like you get to see your her future self in her final evolution. She helps you out for a bit. Like she doesn't help you fight, but like it's part of the story. And her name is Char Lizard. Char Lizard. It's just so bad. And like Moltres is Molten Tress, and Thunderbird is Zapdos. There's even some that are like Clefairy, but I think they just added an extra F so they can get away with it. And then you watch as if you're looking at this video, you'll see the images I'm posting up, and it's just so blatant, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's almost like an homage because they're like women and men version of Pokemon, and it's mostly the armor too that makes it look like that. Um, there is there is at one point a blatant ripoff of Meowth, and I'm talking like there is no, they didn't change it 30% so that they can get away with it as their own parody or creation. It is Meowth, like the Pokemon Meowth. It's so bad, and I was actually enjoying it because it's just like that kind of like, how do you say it? It's like a grid fighter where I forgot the name of it. Think of Fire Emblem, but it's all at the same time. And the whole point is it's like a tower defense in a way. You can't let the other team get to the other end, which is your end, and you die if somebody touches the base or if all your Pokemon die. I'm just naming Pokemon. That's what it is. It was really fun. I actually got addicted to it, but the only problem is that you have to connect it to. Hold on. I had a cough over there. So yeah, the only problem is that you gotta link it to social media, which sucks because, like me, I don't have a Facebook. I don't have like a Imager. I don't have Instagram, any of that. I just have Google Plus and Twitter. That's all I need. That's all I want. And you have to. Well, you don't have to, but here's what happened. Like I was playing this game for like 5 days straight, right? Not literally, obviously. I mean, every free time I had on the bus or whatever, because that's one thing you have to play this. It has to be online because you have to join servers because you buy stuff, and that's why I was like, man, I wanted to play it offline, but you have to be online for this game because you can purchase a lot of stuff, and obviously it's for your own protection. So you have to link your account. You don't have to, but it's really recommended that you link it to a Facebook. And I didn't do that, and I was playing the game, and then one day there was an error, and I can't log into my account. And then when I logged back in, like I'm starting again from scratch, and I'm like, what? And I got a recovery code, but I don't know. I just haven't used it because it looks so long, and it's bad enough to like try to navigate just to log in. So I pretty much lost all my information. I mean, I'll try it again because I had a lot of fun with it. I was actually really getting into it. And you know me, free to play, I'm willing to wait till my enemy and whatever charges up. I never pay money. I've only paid for Sonic Dash, and I ended up not playing that game anymore. So I don't buy DLC when it's free to play. I just wait till I can earn stuff. Unless I buy actual games like Shantae or what was that one game? It was that one Parachute Stand, Goat Simulator, or Real Strike. I'll buy those because you have to buy the game. But I mean, like in-app purchases, I don't do that. But it is fun. I mean, I highly recommend it. It's called Super Evolution. Just link it to a Facebook or something so that if it crashes for some reason, you have you can back it up. And also, what's it called? Yeah, that's it. Damn, I lost my train of thought here, man. I was gonna say something and I totally forgot about it. I will totally remember at a random time. Yeah, Super Evolution. Try that if you got an iPhone. I don't know if it's for iOS. I know it's for iPhone. Um, or for IU. I don't know what it is. It's the Apple Store. There it is. I'll just call it the Apple Store. I think that's what it's called, right? Ah, who knows? Who knows? Well, anyways, with that being said, let's get to some of the good stuff. Let's get to some of the anime. So I've been watching I've watched the first two episodes of this. I mentioned it last time of Bakemonogatari, and essentially it's about this guy who his uncle can drive these spirits away, like spirit animals. I think it is. I've only seen 5 episodes so far, and it starts with this girl who is very light. She's like as light as a paper, and it turns out that she has this this god that's following her, but it's a crab. So the main character, sorry, I totally forgot his name. They're very forgettable right now. Um, so the point of the story is they these this guy, I guess he runs into these people. He doesn't look out for them, and he runs into these people that are having these issues, and they all end up having some kind of a spirit animal attached to them, and they try to solve a way to like have that animal leave that person because let me see, like I'm not gonna give out spoilers, right? So I'm gonna try and reword this in a way where I'm not giving out the plot. So for the first case, this crab I think represented resentment or guilt. It was one of those because when you find out the reason why it's following the woman or the teenager, it's pretty bad. Like she blames herself for what happened, kind of thing. And right now where I'm watching, there's the guy runs into this schoolgirl who I haven't seen it, but I can already tell that the spirit animal is a snail because she's always carrying this huge backpack around, and they actually say it. You know, it's like something of a snail. Something is like the snail spirit makes her get lost, so she's like constantly around the city and she doesn't know where she's going. She's always lost, and of course, you know, there's always like the obligatory panty shot for the elementary girl. There's actually a lot of nudity in this. Well, not nudity, but there's a lot of TNA. So yeah, just watch out for that. It's very the animation is very beautiful. It looks very colorful, very sharp. I highly recommend it. But it is one of those thinker animes. There's not really much action. Uh, it's kind of like Serial Experiments Lane. You really have to think about it. It's one of those symbolism kind of animes. Not really actiony. There is some action, but it's not like it's usually for comical effect. There's no real fighting. But yeah, it's one of those. I wouldn't call it a thriller. I'd call it like who knows. It's just one of those. You know, ye who thinks within himself exist kind of things. Oh man, I just remembered right now. My sister got me this freaking this figure. For the company name was hold on, I'm looking this up right now. The company is First Four Figures, right? She got me this beautiful Joe statue, which is freaking amazing. And for those that have heard the first podcast, I briefly mentioned it, but my favorite superhero out of all time is Beautiful Joe. He is my favorite. And then Static Shock. But oh man, I remember related to this when I found out there was an anime, I was like freaking out, dude. It was so like I was in the hype already. So I was watching the anime, and then what sucks is that they ended it. Like, well, back then when it came out, I bought it because I was buying it from a bootlegger, and they went up to episode like 48, I think, and then that's when they started cracking on the bootlegs. So I didn't get the rest of it. I mean, it's available on YouTube, but it's like in Portuguese or something. And I wanted the Japanese one because I like the voice in Japanese. And then I loved how Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and this is what I love about Japan is like when they have characters, they always get the same voice actors, you know? Like over here, I don't know about now, but like before, one character would be voiced by like five different people. Think of like Sonic the Hedgehog, right? I went through three people already. But in Japan, they try to get the same person over and over again. So it's like it really it keeps the I don't know what you call it, the whimsy of it all, you know? So it makes sense. Like I said before, it's like if they changed the Haru's voice, which they did once in Makai Kingdom, and it was disgusting. I don't know how they didn't get the woman to voice him again, but I mean, I hope they never do that again. I really don't because, man,
All right already.
yeah, because yeah. um, so yeah, that anime it did have an ending, which is cool, but the bad thing about it is that it seemed really rushed, and I hated that. I hate when they rush animes, you know, because like I guess the budget's gone and they gotta finalize the series in 3 episodes. And that's what happened, and I can tell this was kind of sudden because in throughout the game, oh throughout no sorry, in compared to the game throughout the anime they started adding some filler, and then towards the end it kind of sped up the whole second part of the game for the ending, you know. And I was like, man, if they could have just stuck with the story, it would have been great, you know. But I think they plan on having it be filler, and then somewhere along the way, it kind of they're like, oh, you know, we can't have a budget for this anymore. You guys got to cut it. And I think that's what happened. That's my theory. It ended too fast. As always, things that I really love, they get ended abruptly or they're just hated on. But I don't know. Maybe I'm that guy. I guess I'm a hipster in that way. You know, I like what everybody hates. Well, not really, but stuff like that. Like I love some really obscure stuff. And Beautiful Joe isn't obscure, not like Space Goofs. And if somebody knows who that is, and you're awesome. But I'm pretty sure nobody knows what that is. I love that kind of stuff. Beautiful Joe is in that category. Although people know about it, it was short lived. If you think about it, I'm surprised he made it an MVC3, but I'm glad. And I'm hoping I can find the translation, the Japanese translated, not translated, the Japanese one day, you know? Because it's not on Kiss Anime. I think not. I think it is, but it's dubbed. I haven't checked. I know I checked before and it wasn't what I wanted because I would have downloaded it. But yeah, that's about it on that subject. A beautiful Joe! Alright. Oh man, I want to talk about this one thing. But before that, freaking. Oh man, I hate this. Japan released new booster decks for freaking Fate Elia, and I didn't even know they had a card game. And I know it's never gonna hit the U.S. and I hate that because I want to play that so bad. Just like the Disgaea card game, it hit over there and it's not gonna hit here because people don't. I mean, I know there's a lot of card games out there that people play. There are those people that play card games, but they're hard for me to find because usually those people they're teenagers and and there's very few adults and those that are kind of like I don't want to hang around those people. Nothing against them. It's just like they're just kind of set in their ways, and I don't know. We're just from two different worlds, I guess, in a way. Just the personality of those. Like, I guess I'm thinking, not magic users, but I'm thinking of like, um, shit, man. How do I say this? They're losers. All right. All they do is just play their card games and then just go home. No hygiene whatsoever. And I know people say, "Oh, it's not true, man." There's people that are like, "Nah." Well, you know what? That's all I've seen, so that's all I'm gonna judge it on right now. Sadly enough, and a lot of people that I've met like that are very pretentious assholes, which I hate. So usually when I play card games, it's within friends, my friend circle. Obviously not in school, my friend circle outside of school, and yeah, and that's like what, it's a handful now because we all split apart. Man, you used to be like 15 people, but as you go on through your life, you go to your career paths. But That's separate. That's going off the rails. But yeah, like it's hard finding people that play card games, and let alone the one that you want to play, right? So usually I just buy like the boosters and I play with my friends or family. But they have this Fate Elia one, and granted, I kind of just want it for the art because it looks pretty. But I've been really wanting to get into a card game lately, and the last one I got into was Resident Evil, the deck building game, which was so much fun. And I know people told me to get Catan, but like I like the Resident Evil theme, same thing. But I think Catan's better. I hear everybody loves Catan. Speaking of Elia, oh man, do not go to YouTube and look up music, and then go to the comment section. And lucky for me, these two instances, I I was wait, okay, so the first one. After I watched the season of Gaku Garashi, I went to download music for it, right? So I go to YouTube and I see if I can get a link. And I'll look at the music, I'll hear the music, and then I'll scroll through the comments, and there's like spoilers up the ass. Like, I'm talking like big spoilers. We're talking freaking, was it Darth Vader's Luke's father? Spoilers, like that big. And I'm like, fuck, and good for me that I watched it, before I read it. And then I think it was Fate Zero, right? It was Fate something. Wait, was it? It was, yeah, it was an anime. Oh shit, hold on. Cooking food right now. Yeah, sorry guys, the pot was moving, man. I'm sorry. I've been just going everywhere today. But as I was saying, yeah, dude, I cannot remember which anime it was. I'm trying to remember the spoiler that they told me. I'm not gonna say it, obviously. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. Let's see. I was downloading the soundtrack, The Lives of High School Boys. That has no real spoilers because, like, you can watch that anime in any episode and you won't get lost. The only continuing story is like the guy and the girl that meet up at the hill and talk. That's like an ongoing gag. There's that. There's, let's see, I downloaded Fate Zero. Yes, it was Fate Zero because well, this isn't a spoiler, right? But people die in that anime because obviously the point of it is if you don't know what Fate Stay Night is or Fate Zero, pretty much seven people summon seven servants, different classes. Like one's an archer, one's a saber class, one's berserk, one's an art, stuff like a lancer, and they all have that name and they had their identities. So you just call them lancer, saber, archer. And the point of it is to get to the Holy Grail, and the Holy Grail comes out after one servant is left. So eventually, all the servants die except for one. It's a fight to the death. But there are some deaths in there within the actual like characters that aren't fighting kind of thing. Because there's casualties there, so I don't spoil it. There's like okay, this is what it is. As I mentioned before, Fate Stay Night and Fate Unlimited Blade Works. Blade Works. It's the same thing. Unlimited Blade Works was like the OVA because that came out first, right? But it was condensed into a movie. So think of Fate Stay Night, condensed the 25 episodes into an hour and a half. But then they made Unlimited Blade Works TV, it's pretty much a remake of the first one. But the thing is, the main story is the same, but what happens in between changes drastically. And on YouTube, it was all out in the open. Spoilers about what happens. And it's so bad. And I'm glad I witnessed that on the two animes that I have finished watching because I I mean I would hate it if I'm just like watching something halfway through, and then I go through the comments on some video, and it turns out that I see like the main spoilers. Granted, for Fate Stay Night, Fate Prisma Aelia, I found out a huge spoiler, and that really sucks because the comic came out like the comic is out way before the anime, right? So people already know what's happening. And I was reading up, I was trying to find one of the actresses, Miyu, that passed away, that did the voice to her. I tried to find out what her name was, and scrolling through that, I scrolled through some of the plot, and I kind of spoiled the next season that's coming out in in July or June. And I was like, man, it was like a huge spoiler too. It was a reveal. So I mean, shit, nothing's safe. You know, nothing is safe anymore. God help me. But yeah, my advice when you're watching anime and you get into it, I would wait until I see the whole season before I download the music of that season because you will get spoilers. You will get spoilers, and I don't know, not like I wouldn't watch it, but it just wouldn't be the same. It's like if I were to hear a spoiler, when I watched the rest of the anime, I would just keep waiting until it would happen. I'd be like expecting it. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's about it, pretty much. So I think that wraps it up. It's been really hard. Man, it's really hard to fill up an hour. I'm trying to do an hour, but I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna make filler. I'm not gonna do pauses or anything like that. Why? Not these like I'm not gonna pause during this. Like I'm trying to do as less a dead air as possible. I'm trying to do half and half. So half of the time is dedicated to what I'm doing in video games and just whatever in my life, and then the other half I'm trying to dedicate to anime. It's less and less right now because I'm going through finals, but I will, after finals, obviously I'm gonna have a lot more to talk about because I'm gonna be able to do more stuff. I'm gonna be brushing up on my Maya. I'm gonna be playing video games and everything because, like, I mean, granted, I could be doing that if I didn't work, but if I didn't work, I'd probably just devote myself to just school because besides it being fun, what I'm doing right now, I kind of need to get that done. It's money that I'm throwing in there, or that I'm risking, because it's I'm gonna get a huge debt in like about 2 years, and hopefully I'll be working somewhere. AAA, hopefully Way Forward, please, please. I really want to work for Way Forward, but they do a lot of 2D stuff, so they may not need me. Not sure. I would love to be there. That's one of my choices. Other choice is Nintendo, but I'll take anything just to get a resume going. I'm gonna start off indie, obviously, and then slowly move to AAA. That's my goal. Take it easy, take it slow. Probably have to move to LA. That or I can just commute there, but there's nothing like there is nothing in San Diego that I can do. Like all the teachers have told me, and I have a friend that she lives at the almost at the city limit of Los Angeles. She tells me all the work is in LA. LA or New York. And I kind of get it. Yeah, and I'm kind of sick of San Diego. But yeah, that went off the rails. um, yeah, as soon as finals are over, I'm going to have a lot more to talk about because I'm going to be watching a lot of more anime. I haven't been watching much lately because I've just been honestly I've been playing driver, or I've been on my phone when I take the bus rides. I need to start watching anime again on the bus rides. Um, I'm trying to get through Bakemonogatari because I mean, as fun as it is, part of me is like, ugh, more thinking like not that I don't want to watch it. It's very beautiful aesthetically. It's amazing, but it's just like I'm just waiting for something interesting to happen. And the thing is that what's supposed to be interesting is the dialogue that they have, and it makes you think. And I guess I'm looking for more action, you know. But yeah, um, I got about 3 weeks, so like in three more podcasts, you know, it's gonna pick up. I'm gonna do more stuff. Oh man, I'm gonna have so much fun. And yeah, that wraps it up, guys. Thanks for listening. You'll hear this on Saturday, which is the day that I'm gonna upload it. Um, if you see, again, if you see a video, that means I didn't get copyrighted because I'm gonna try and put some footage from the anime that I've been watching, the animes that I've been watching, and video games. But I'll get copyright striked, or not that, but I'll get blocked immediately if I post some of certain ones. So I'll find out right then and there when I upload it. So if you watch this podcast and there was video, then congrats, I didn't get caught. Because apparently if I upload that stuff, I assume that I own it all, right? I created Bakemonogatari and all the characters and everything. I did it all. I did all that. I did all of Beautiful Joe. That was all me. I did that, right? Right. Apparently that's how it works. So YouTube is garbage now. But anyways, screw all that. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching and listening. And yeah, I'm still waiting to get approved so I can have this on iTunes. I might send an email, but this is going to be my third upload I'm putting up there. So if they check my account, they'll see that I'm posting regularly. I'm trying to get this on iTunes. But that's about it, guys. Thanks. And I'll see you next week's. I'll see you next week. See you, cunts.